Hello, this is Duntov. So today is Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. So I'm at the intersection of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard. I'm gonna go drive to go get some footage. And it's just, every time I come to this intersection, I'm still not used to not seeing the Tropicana here. You can just see how plain it looks. But from here we can see they got the tower crane and the yellow crawler crane. It looks like they're using both of them. Both cables are down. So we're gonna head over there and check out, get a good view of what's going on. See if there's anything new happening. Alright, I made my way to the Oyo parking deck here. And there's a lot of activity going on up here just since last week. Alright, so we can see on this, this would be the north end. This would be the outfield area this way. We can see the drill rig, and they got a lot of rebar cages down into the ground there. See them going all the way around now. And then we could see in the like the infield area, we have, looks like they finally finished, or almost finished. We can see a little bit of the pile left where they're grinding up this material. We can see over here the small pile right there, and they got the loader right there loading the stuff into the crusher. Alright, but the most noticeable thing since I was here last, if I pan over to the left, check out all the forms that have gone up in this area here. So they're really busy. I mean, they were still putting a lot of rebar up last week. So this is in 1 week's time they put all of this, all these forms up here. So I'm just going to zoom in and we'll check out. I see a lot of the crew walking around. Let me see what time it is. I think it's around 11:15. Yep, 11:15 a.m. Today it's not too bad out here yet. It's probably like low 90s right now. It cooled off a little bit the past couple days. We did have some rain around town, you know, scattered rain. Of course, by my house, no rain at all, but cooled it off a little bit. All right, I'm gonna zoom in. It looks like they poured some concrete over here. Very bright on my viewfinder, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm looking at on the viewfinder. You can see all that there. It looks like that's all freshly poured concrete. And if we look, they do have a concrete pump truck over here. You can see the white tent building, then the truck there with the arm. Oh yeah, so you can see over here the trucks coming in and out right there. So it looks like they're pumping concrete right now. This truck should be coming in, backing in, hooking up to the pump truck. And it looks like they're pumping down into this. Alright, so you can see how they do it. We got the truck backing up, and it should just back right up, and it could dump the concrete into the pump, and that way they could place it wherever they need it. I'm gonna keep an eye out, see if we could see the, if you remember, they made one of the Nevada Ready Mix trucks where it has the Athletics logo on the drum of the concrete truck. Right now I don't see it. That just looks like the regular Nevada Ready Mix one on there now. Yeah, so the one they painted up, they put the baseball stitching on it, and then they also had the what's it called? One side said Athletics, then the other side had the A's. So it was pretty cool. So it'd be cool if we see that pull up over while I'm out here today. All right, so a lot going on. So they do have the drill rig in the center there also. You can see the yellow one right there with the blue weights on the back. So there's a lot going on. We'll just have to keep seeing what they're gonna do on this end here. So I'm gonna move on down a little bit. We'll try to see better into where they're putting all them forms in. As of right now, we have these the crawler crane and the tower crane. I don't see them moving anything. You can just see the cables hanging there. But they have these smaller cranes across the way there, and it looks like they're putting up more forms. Or the forms were there last week, but we can see how they got the rebar going around it all now. Like this one here. So if I had to guess, I would say this is going to be an elevator core. And I'm just guessing because if we look at all the rebar, and then you can see the openings where it kind of looks like that could be where the elevator doors would open up on that level. So that is just a guess, but that's what I would guess. All right, let me move on down. So we'll try to see if we could see what they're if they're pumping the concrete and what's going on that way. All right, I moved down so we could see a lot more of this area here that they got all. You can see they got all the forms up, and we're gonna try to zoom in. It does look like there's concrete already down in this area. This is where the pump truck is shooting into. Alright, it's very bright, hard for me to tell, but it looks like he's spreading it out right there. So where's, you got the arm there. You can just see how big all this stuff is. So they're surprised they don't have a mix plant on site. This looks like they're going to be pouring a lot of concrete here. Just this one alone, that's a big form there. I see him moving the arm around, so let's see if we can see anything. is. So this is the first time I saw them pouring concrete at this time of day. I was told before that they were doing it in the middle of the night right now just because of the heat. Maybe because it cooled off a little bit, they were able to do it now. Alright, so we can see a lot more rebar. Everything has been installed down in this area. So I'm going to look down in the area where they were making a lot of the cages. That would be the southeast corner down here. Still see a lot of cages, but I do not see the setup where they were building them before. They might have just moved it, or that could even be in the way, but unless they moved them back here. But so I don't see anyone building there, or maybe that's all they need for like the pilings that are going in the ground. Maybe that's, you know, all of them, because this other stuff here, a lot of this, you know, it's not the round ones anymore. So maybe they build these ones, you know, on right where they need them. If you remember last week, they were putting the long, like rectangular ones, they were going across. Guess it would be, they were going across like where you got these forms right here. So last week it was just the rebar cages going there, and now you can see all the forms that have been added. Now if we look by the tower crane, we could see where they removed last week they were removing some of the forms in this area, and now we could see they got them all removed. So we should start seeing, you know, you can see right there how high those cages are coming up out of the ground. So we're going to start seeing this stadium going vertical soon. So I wonder if that's going to be another like elevator shaft. If you look at both of them, you know, in between it'll go to the two different sides of the stadium. You know, the home plate is kind of in between them. You got that white work truck there. We actually can't see home plate right now. It's like behind all this dirt right there. If you look in the background, you can see all those side dumps. They're actually filling them up with dirt down all the way on that west side there. I think we could see the excavator pop up every so often over here. There it is there. So they're filling trucks up and they're hauling dirt out of here. So if you haven't heard, they were just announcing it yesterday on the local news, and I got an email also from the Athletics. They're gonna play, I think, 6 games next June. They'll be playing out here at the ballpark. That is where the Aviators play. So they're gonna come out here and play 6 of their regular regular season games. I haven't heard when tickets go on sale yet, but it's for 2026. So if you want to see the athletics out here, you can come out in June next year. 2 years before this will officially be open. So you can see how they're moving around now. They're pumping into this other one in the center here. So I don't know how. You got the forms there on this long one. You can see how tall the form is. Maybe, well, you have all them support brackets, so that must just be as high as they got to fill it. 'Cause I was thinking you fill it to the top, but oops, sorry for that shake. But I guess not, because it has all the forms in there kind of holding it up from falling over. I don't see any more concrete trucks waiting. We got the one that's at the pump, and then we have the one that's like the clean out back that way. I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing, cleaning out the truck before they leave. I just wonder how many of these trucks a day they bring in here to pump all this stuff up. Just trying to look into all the different stuff. I don't know exactly what I'm looking at here, so just trying to, again, you can see all the rebar in there, how big some of these forms are. You get a good view from here now. You can see how big, how far out the arm can reach on that pump truck. That makes a big difference. Can't get those concrete trucks in there, so this way they can just reach a lot easier. And a lot easier than when I was a kid. I would help my dad and my uncle. They would always be pouring, like for side jobs, doing pouring concrete driveways and sidewalks and stuff, and they used to have to do it in the wheelbarrow and push it. So This is a little bit different setup. All right, the tower crane just spun around. Not sure if they're getting ready to lift something into place or not. You can see the end of the cable right there by the two pillars that are left from that Ferris wheel that was never built. Alright, that truck's empty, it's leaving. I'm going to try to figure out what we're looking at over here. It's hard for me to make out. It looks like rebar cages. I can't make out what this is on the viewfinder. It looks like we got like a lot of you know, what appears like a water hose, like a fire hose. So maybe they're going to the cooling lines that we were talking about. You know, people were saying these might be the cooling lines for the concrete. Not sure. Okay, the yellow crane right here is also moving. I just moved the cable down a little bit. See, they're still working down here with all the concrete, so I'm not sure what they would be hooking up here, but we'll keep an eye and see. I'm losing my bearings in the sun here. Alright, it's not really hooking anything up. Looks like they're just moving around. This is the back braking work here in this heat. Even though it's not 110, it's still warm out here, especially wearing all that heavy gear they have on. So I was told that these are like cooling tents here. Someone asked again about it. So these white tents are cooling tents. You could see looks like that's like the AC unit there. Then they also have the ice coolers back there. So they need them. We got a lunch truck here pulling up. You can see this other truck backing up, pour more concrete. If we look though, right now they just put a lot of people into this area here. I wonder if they're going to be pouring into this form today also. Alright, so you can see that the rebar comes all the way up there, so I don't know how they do this one, because you can see the side is open a little bit there where them two people are standing. Tower crane is swinging around again. And also this crawler crane they did, looks like they hooked something up to it. Let's see what we got here. So that looks like it's just going down where all them guys are at. So they must have to continue building some more of the rebar cage. Trucks keep pouring in. The ones they're filling up, hauling dirt out of here, so they're cleaning up. Just trying to see inside. Looks like the pumps, they're pumping right there, but I can't see it coming in. There it goes. Now I see something coming. so a lot of activity today. Zoom in down here. We can see the Dream Hotel tower. Then we got the plane coming in for a landing over here. Don't look like it's focused. So you can see the proximity to the airport, how close it is. Alright, so people ask still about this Dream Hotel. That's what this is here. So they haven't done anything since I did that one video. They put the construction wall around it, and that's it. They haven't done anything, so it's not worth me going out there. There's nothing to show. I'm gonna try to get out. If you haven't heard on my last video, I'm gonna try to get out. If you go south down this way, down towards like Las Vegas Boulevard, between Warm Springs and Blue Diamond Road, they are starting to level the land for the Brightline train that they're going to build from here to, I think is it Rancho Cucamonga, I think is where it's going to end. So right now they're just moving dirt around. They do have a sign up saying that that's what they're building, so I'll try to get out there. Where it's at though, there's really nowhere to park, and you got to hike in through the dirt to get to it. I don't think there's any road like to drive up to it, so, but I'll try to get in there and we'll see if we could see anything. There's still a lot of speculation if that's even going to get built, but supposedly they're working on it. I think it's going to be like $12 billion when all is said and done, so we'll see. Alright, so I want to look over here now. Kind of seems like if we look where they poured that concrete last week. Alright, so we got the towers, you know, that not really towers, but these elevator cores that they're putting up. If you remember, you had all that concrete, and now we just see the rebar coming out, and it's up higher, so it does appear like they're filling that in now. You can see the dirt there that goes up to the sides of these ones here. Alright, so when they do finish pouring this concrete, you can see now they're back filling it in. So now we know why they're saving all of this dirt material to get. They're gonna fill this all in once it's all poured and cured. All this area, all around the edges here. Alright, so there we go. I wonder if that's what all this material is for. Must be this material in the middle that they were, you know, crushing even more. So they filled it in a little bit. Alright, let's check this area here. We can see this is what they just poured. So I thought they were pouring the one with all that rebar, but we can see they poured these lower ones there. I was thinking they were filling that box up there, but no. And it looks like that'll be the next. Okay, pretty good to see concrete getting poured. You know, it is going to be a holiday weekend, so Monday, or I'm assuming, or all weekend, there will be no activity going on site. But now that they're getting a lot of this stuff poured, and we are going to see this going up a lot quicker. So if you'd like to follow along and you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe at Raiders1967 to get updates on this build, as well as I'm doing Old Mirage, the new Hard Rock hotel that it's getting turned into. They are building a new guitar-shaped tower right along Las Vegas Boulevard, and then they are redoing all of the original Mirage building. They're gutting that out and going to turn that into, you know, part of the Hard Rock also. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I will talk with you guys next time.